Hey Pisces, happy Lunar New Year. I am recording this just after New Year, but it's a new moon, a new lunar cycle, and I'm here starting again. So this is for the week of the 1st of February till the 9th. I'm doing the full 9 days so I can get into the cycle of doing weekly, and this cycle starts on a Saturday, so it just made sense. So I am using the Moon, Queen of the Moon Oracle, and also Moonology cards. I felt like it just made sense to use moon cards, so that's what we're doing. So let's start off. So the first card is in a position, kind of the energy that you're in, represents you and what you're working with right now, and you have gratitude. It is in reverse, so it does want you to pay attention to this. I feel like I'm really far away from the microphone. So this is the card. It was in reverse. This is the card for you. So I feel like you're in this space. I actually feel like you are contemplating a little bit at the moment of the things that you have in your life, where you're at. Are you happy, or how did you get to where you were? A lot of contemplation and kind of just seeing the good things that you've had and brought into your life. And I'm loving that. Let me have a deeper look for you. I do feel like you're missing somebody, or you're missing people. So I do feel this little sense of longing a little bit with you, Pisces. But again, being present and being around people that you love and that are in your life is important. I would say actually this is the time for you to reconnect with family, whether it just be doing things with your family, more in the home life, or just the little tiny things that make the difference to people who matter to you. I feel it could go a long way for you as a person, but I actually just feel like you're in that nostalgic energy where you actually just want to do that as well, which is good. And the next card is growth. So I do want you to know that you don't have to rush into anything. I feel like what you have grown so far is strong, and is going to take you to where you want to be. There is something kind of on the sidelines to this. I haven't quite got to it yet, so hopefully as I do the reading it will sort of come through a little bit clear. I do feel like maybe you feel like you're running out of time or wasting time or something. I think it is this nostalgic feeling. I feel like there's longing. Maybe longing for more, but again, this is an energy that you're working with, so if you use that to your benefit, it can help lead you towards what it is that you're wanting and desiring right now, and being productive with that. But you have all of the tools that you need. You've grown whatever this far, which means you have the skills, the knowledge, the growth already in order to have exactly what it is that you want in your life. So you're distracted by something. Okay, next is balance. And then we have resilience. I felt the need to move across. So both of these are in reverse. So again, it wants you to listen. Interesting. So the balance card, I will kind of be reading these two together. The balance card is kind of coming across as you being in a space which is further along in progress than you feel. But then the resilience card feels as though there's a lot of burdens kind of burdening your mind at the moment. And that's what the resilience is giving me from there. So going back to the balance, so we're not jumping too far ahead. This card, it kind of comes where, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Her face is covered by the clouds. To me, this is not needing to see ahead, needing to see what is. She's holding the earth, or holding an orb of gold in front of her, and I feel as though you have a lot of aspirations. Again, as I'm saying this, it's longing. You're longing for something, Pisces. And the thing is, the answers are not on the outside, the answers are on the inside. So maybe there's something inside that is the key to your success, and maybe a lot of taking the time to self-reflect, because again, the energy at the moment is really reflecting on ourselves and our part in the world and our part in our own world, on how we've been interacting with people and how we've been putting ourselves out there. Maybe it's not really authentic with who we want to be, or who we are, or with what we want in our life now. For example, I will use the wanting to spend time with family. Maybe we want to spend time with family, but wanting to do something isn't us doing it. It's not creating the means to be able to do that. If we want something, we have to work, and I feel like Pisces, that's naturally something you know how to do, is to work towards something. Maybe you've not been working in your own energy within to acknowledge that you've just not been putting yourself in that frame. If you want something, you got to put yourself into the situations and the scenarios that's going to get you what you need. And this is a skill. This is a tool you've learned, right? Why are you not learning the things? Why are you not using the things you're learning? Sorry. So this is just thoughts, bringing that back into balance. I get this sense with this balance of being imbalance for some time, and I do feel like we're coming to that. You're reaching the surface, but maybe you've been complacent for too long and not realized how much you've built and grown in that time. And I do want to again just touch on this, on how rest is an action. It is productive. It can lead us towards being in a better space to be ready to accept what we need to and move forward. And the next card, again, like I said, was resilient. So again, sometimes it's bringing the negative things with us. And I feel like you've been carrying something for such a long time that you built up a resilience, but that means that you're living in fight and flight. Being resilient, I had a very negative connection with resilience. I kind of started to hate being resilient, resent being resilient, right? Because it means that you're struggling but still surviving. It means you're living but not alive. You're alive but not living. Sorry, the wrong way around. So these are things I want you to contemplate on, whether or not that's something that you are doing. But again, you do need to release things that just are not needed. If you look, she is carrying a boulder with like weeds and plants she doesn't need to bring with us. What use is that? How is that going to help her in the future? It's not, but she's carrying that burden with her and bringing it into the future with her, because she's not letting go and releasing what is hindering her, right? I do feel like this is a process. Now again, this is the energy we're working with, and most signs have got this kind of same energy where it's about self-reflecting and getting you into a space that is productive for you this year. Acceptance. Acceptance is a card which comes with, I want to say for you guys, it is again accepting what is real and true. Again, when we do get into this kind of state of naturally fight and flight, just living each day today, we can kind of just accept what is. And I feel like then you shut out the actual real truth. You just accepting I just have to live like this. I'm going to use an example of a feeling. So you feel like you're not good enough. So you can just accept that I'm just not good enough, but I'm just going to do the best I can. And then all of a sudden this is something that you have accepted. What is like you are good enough and you can have anything you want. And again, like my dad always told me, and he's a Pisces, you can have anything you want if you put your mind to it. And I feel like Pisces, you needed that reminder that you can do anything you want as long as you put your mind to it. So that acceptance, for me, that is how this card is coming through to you. Now I also want to say that we need to accept that others are not us, and we cannot control others. We can't control what they do, and we do have to accept that they are the way that they are, as well as ourselves. And I think that potentially maybe you want others to be something that they're not, and that's the same thing for yourself. Sometimes we have to accept that, again, people are going to live and be who they are because that's who they are. They're not going to change, and you cannot control it, and you shouldn't wish to control it either. But in the same way, you are the way that you are, and you can accept that and love you in all of your essence and work with that. That's a tool that you have. The acceptance is key for you to be living your life and not be worried too much with others. Discernment is next, and this definitely comes as an overthinking kind of card for me, of worrying too much and being in a cloud that's blocking your view. So I do feel like your mental state or whatever you're allowing to be the main forefront of your mind is something that's potentially blocking your potential. So you are the key to clearing and gaining clarity on this. Now Pisces, you're a very spiritual sign, and I feel like you naturally could have this ability to see very clearly and see the world in a very unique way. The thing is, sometimes I think if you end up allowing the impacts of other people and just the tolls of life to really take its toll on you, that gets clouded by judgment, and you could be in more of a state of, just like I said, in this fight or flight. So again, just living each day to day without really having a meaning. And you need your purpose, you need your reason, and that is within your knowing. But again, it's coming into that. So I do feel like you need to figure out what it is that you actually aspire to have in your life right now, and doing what you need to do. Again, you can have whatever it is that you want as long as you put your mind to it. And it does feel like mind over matter here. We have the path. This means you're on the right path and you are going on a journey. Basically, you just have to take the steps. So if you've been complacent, this is the time to be proactive and get into it, get working towards your dreams and your goals. And I do feel like this is a time for dreaming for you, to get dreaming, get into that energy of creativity, and start dreaming and working towards that. And I feel like I want to emphasize working towards that, which is funny because I just glanced over at the next card, which is the masculine. Now, I do feel you need to take on some masculine energy, and start being the kind of boss that you are, and just start taking action for yourself. Start doing something that's beyond the day to day. You know what I mean? Like, I do feel like a lot of the time we're telling people when they've been depressed and down, what they need to do is, one, rest, but also just take one step at a time. You're not there. Like, for me, this reading is like, obviously this is individual basis, I'm not a doctor, but I'm saying reading the energy of this reading is like, you're not there. You're not in that state where we're telling you to rest and recuperate now. You're now in the state where it's like, come on, how are we going to improve on our situation? Asking yourself the questions that are directing you out of this space, and it's taking the steps. Now, taking action, again, sometimes is resting. So if you haven't been, that may be for you, but I don't feel that that is heavy in this reading. It is taking baby steps, doing something towards a direction, towards a goal. So I'm going to say, we'll use the family thing because that started how we started in this reading, is I want a day out with my family. Okay. So what do you want to do? So you want to take them away for the weekend. So you need money for that. So work towards a saving, have a goal, $500, pounds, whatever, whatever the currency is wherever you are while you're watching, and save that money for that. Okay, done. Pick the date, book the time off, or plan the place. You know, do all the things that are steps towards making that goal achievable. You know, everybody's circumstances are different, and sometimes we do have to be flexible and creative, but that's the point. If you want it enough, you'll do it. And that has always been my motto. I believe, you know, if someone wants something enough, they will do it, and that's that, right? So I feel like you need to be in this masculine energy and taking that up. So it is time for you to be a little bit more dominant in your own life. I do feel this is a dominance of self, making your decisions, doing things for yourself, because I feel like you have goals and aspirations that you need to be the one stepping into this zone. So these last four cards I found kind of round up the energy we've been talking about. So let's see what we got here for you. This is like the quickest reading I've gone through. Your energy is so strong. It's just like, that's it. This is it. The end of a tough cycle approaches, and this is it. I think it's because I'm really feeling the ending of this. It's like you're having to just do and be like, this is now. We're no longer sitting in this energy because we're moving away from it. We're moving from it, and this is saying, you know, the bad times are over. Let's start embracing the good times. I'm loving that. It's a really great card. Be bold and make the first move. Exactly. Make the first move. You're going to have to be the one that's going to have to step into what you want. Nobody's going to give it to you. Nobody's going to make it happen for you. Nobody's going to make the efforts to make what you want come into fruition. It does need to be you that needs to be bold and go for what you want. Your hard work is paying off, which means the hard work you put into it will definitely be work in your best favor. I feel like I've been telling you this is your time to do. So take action, and make sure, again, you are working towards what it is that you wish to have in your life right now. And what do you need to release? We're getting rid of those burdens, and we're letting go of what no longer serves us. If something is coming to an end, it is a good thing, a positive for you. Sometimes as soon as we see ends, we think, oh no, panic, it's all over, what's next? You don't need to know what's next. You need to focusing on the current and the present. So it's coming to an end. You're going to nurture yourself through that and take the next steps proactively towards new beginnings and what you actually desire. And I'm going to say it like this. Sometimes relationships might come to an end, and we can be in this state of panic and shock, like whether or not you wanted it or not, it's still going to impact you and have you going through the grievances and things. So we can go into this panic and really have like an existential crisis. The thing is, what is more productive is thinking, what do you want? Half the time it is not another relationship. Half the time it is not love. I do feel like we have that craving in that end the way we need support and nurturing. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's like, I just want to be happy and I just want to be able to do whatever I want. Okay, so being in another relationship right now might not be the best thing, because when you first get into new relationships, you're not really doing whatever you want. You're doing what each other wants, what your partner wants. And I naturally get into this cycle that when I do date people, I do what they want because I want what they want, and then I forget that I am a person that has individual needs and wants. But because I started a relationship with like that in that space, that's how it finishes. So I have definitely taken this time to myself to realize that true independence can lead you towards being in a space that when you get into a relationship, you already know where you are, who you are, and where you're at, that it's not hindering that initial setting into, because I feel like how you get into a relationship, it really sets the foundations of how it's going to be. So I feel like, again, if relationships or anything like that is coming to an end, that really think on if a new thing is exactly what you want and need during this time, or whether it just feels like a natural cycle that you get stuck in, and do what actually is in alignment with what you want. Because again, it will get there when you get there, and when that becomes a priority or something that needs to be in your life, it will just be there. But right now, maybe you have a goal and aspiration that sets you aside from the thing that may be ending. I'm not saying relationships are ending, I'm just giving you an example if that does come with your circumstances of how that energy can just show through in your life. So thank you, Pisces, for being here. Please follow me on my channel to stay up to date with your weekly and monthly energy readings, and I hope to share this year with you. Thank you guys for being here.